Monday, November 1st, marked the annual special town meeting, and Natalie Guthrie tells us what happened.
At this week's special town meeting members voted to approve a series of articles. Included on the list, Article 7, which will impose a local meals tax of 0.75% on the sale of restaurant meals. Article 8, which allows the town to amend its local room occupancy tax to 6%. Both new taxes will go into effect on January 1st. Also approved was Article 14, which brings Newman School one step closer to having its renovations become a reality. However, it is now up to Needham voters as they head to the polls on December 8th to decide whether the project will move forward. If the override goes through, the project will repair the HVAC system, renovate the kitchen, auditorium, nurse guidance and administration areas, fund modular classrooms for use during construction, and upgrade the technology infrastructure. All items that school committee member Marianne Cooley and Board of Selectmen Jerry Wasserman said are necessary and timely upgrades.
This is the project, and with the MSBA's support, now is the time to get this work completed.
There are a few elements that we will be covering in more detail that are not requirements. However, it would be penny wise and pound foolish not to take care of these needs when construction requires us to open up walls and ceilings.
And while some articles went through without much debate, others raised areas of concern for town meeting members. Articles 10 and 11 asked town meeting members to vote to authorize the Board of Selectmen to acquire 2 parcels of land to be funded through Needham's Community Preservation Act Open Space Fund. Jane Howard, a member of the Community Preservation Committee, spoke in favor of the purchases because of its location.
The land is adjacent to other town-owned property and therefore is attractive to the town and meets the criteria of the town's open space plan, which aims to expand the town-owned open space by purchasing contiguous properties when possible.
And while its location seems desirable, there were several questions and concerns voiced.
I'm just wondering what kind of use we can actually get from this land as residents.
In this case, I am against it, for the reason that most of both of these lots are already wetlands, and there's only an ability to put 2 house lots from what I understand.
I'm wondering why we're going to be spending nearly $1 million for something that is going to have 2 house lots on it and a considerable amount of open space, if in fact we can use those funds to improve the existing open space and utilization by the townspeople today.
After the debate and a hand count, both Articles 10 and 11 passed. Article 13 asks residents to appropriate $100,000 for a feasibility study of a new senior center. The site for the senior center has not yet been chosen, so the funds would potentially be used to focus on 3 sites: Rosemary Hill, Ridge Hill, and Greens Field. Disagreements between town meeting members did not focus on whether to fund the study, but rather which location to study.
There's only one site that is acceptable to all constituents, and that is Rosemary Hill.
Town meeting member Paul Siegenthaler proposed an amendment so that the feasibility study focused on solely Rosemary Hill. However, not all town meeting members agreed.
It makes no sense to me to limit a feasibility study to one site for $49,000. What happens if we study just Rosemary Ridge, and a year from now I'll conclude that it's not feasible to build? Then we've spent that money and lost the opportunity to study other sites at the same time. We'll be back where we started from.
I will second Mr. Silverstein that I have always been taught that if you put all your eggs in one basket, you're apt to come up with nothing in the end. This facility study asks us to look at potential sites. Why would we narrow it to one site and end up possibly empty-handed?
After some debate, the motion to amend failed. However, a motion to reduce the price to $49,000 passed, along with the main motion. For the Needham Channel News, I'm Natalie Guthrie.